So are you also running a solar energy consultant business? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Chatflow, and in this video we are going to understand how to create a WhatsApp chatbot for your solar energy consultant business. So like you, I'm also running the same business and we regularly receive user queries on WhatsApp, but this is such a time consuming and a tedious task to reply to those same WhatsApp messages over and over again. So to solve this problem, I've simply created a Pabbly Chatflow WhatsApp chatbot, and now whenever my user is going to send me a message, an automatic reply will be sent towards my user. But not only sending and receiving of WhatsApp messages, but we can also collect the user information which we can further add in our Google Sheets using Pabbly Connect. So if you also want to see the proper working of this automation or create this automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen.
Welcome to my screen. So in this video, I'll show you how to create a WhatsApp chatbot tailored for your solar energy consultancy business. This chatbot can handle the lead qualification, answer FAQs about the solar panel installation, calculate the potential savings, and even book the consultations automatically. Not only this WhatsApp chatbot collects your user information and adds them into your Google Sheets automatically so that your sales team can refer to these sheets and contact them accordingly. This is perfect way to engage your eco-conscious customers and grow your business effectively. So let's dive in and build you a WhatsApp chatbot for your own solar energy consultancy business. So to do this, as you can see, I have already created my WhatsApp chatbot, and first I'm just going to show you the proper working of this WhatsApp chatbot. Let's see, I'm just going to message them on WhatsApp, hey, right over here. So I'm just going to simply type hey right over here and send them this hey. And once I'm just going to send them any message, it is saying hello and welcome to Sunbright Solar Solutions. To get started, could you please share your full name? Alright, let's say I'm just going to share my full name right over here, which is test user. So I'm simply going to share my full name right over here. And once I'm just going to share my full name, it is saying great. What type of property do you want to install solar panels on? So I'm just going to enter right over here the type of property, which is commercial. So I'm just going to enter commercial right over here. And once I'm just going to enter the type of property, it is saying thanks. Here's how we can assist you today. They have given me three options, which is how solar works, estimated savings, and free site check. So one by one, I'm just going to test all of these three buttons. If I want to know how the solar works, over here it is going to respond me accordingly. And if I want to view the estimated savings, I can go towards this estimated savings button right over here. And now it is saying what's your average monthly electricity bill. So let's say I'm just going to enter the average electricity bill right over here, which is 10,000 rupees. So I'm just going to enter it right over here, and I'm just going to send them average monthly electricity bill. And once I'm just going to send them this, it is saying awesome, with solar you can cut your bill up to 70% over time. Want a free site check? And if I want that, I can go towards this button which says free site check right over here. And now it is asking me to share the location, area, or the city. Alright, so I'm just going to simply share my location right over here, which is ABC city. Alright, so I'm just going to simply enter ABC city right over here, and I'm just going to send them my location. And once I'm just going to send them my location, it is saying perfect. One of our experts will review and contact you soon. If I further want to contact them, I can go towards this contact us button to right over here. So yes, you can see that this WhatsApp chatbot is solving all my user queries within seconds. Not only this, it is also collecting my information. And over here you can see that it has collected these four information, which is the name. Over here you can see the type of the property, you can see the average electricity bill, and the area or the city in which I want to install the solar panel. So yes, these four details which are collected have been added right over here in my spreadsheet automatically. You can see that this WhatsApp chatbot not only solves all my user queries but also collect their details and add them right over here in my spreadsheet. Such a useful feature, right? And this is no magic, this is the power of automation and this WhatsApp chatbot which I have already created for my solar energy consultancy business. And if you also want to create this amazing WhatsApp chatbot for your own business, then for that you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So to do this, we are simply going to open the landing page of Pabbly Chatflow by searching pabbly.com/chatflow in my browser. So I'm simply going to search for pabbly.com/chatflow in my browser. And after opening the landing page of Pabbly Chatflow, over here we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here, I am an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in. And now it is opening all Pabbly apps. And over here, you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Chatflow because I want to automate WhatsApp conversations effortlessly. So for that, I'm simply going to click on this access now given right over here. And once we're just going to click on this access now, it is going to open the dashboard of my Pabbly Chatflow account. And in order to create a WhatsApp chatbot, we first have to add a WhatsApp number inside a Pabbly Chatflow account. So to add this WhatsApp number, we are simply going to click on this blue button which says add WhatsApp number. And over here, you're going to get two methods to add the WhatsApp number. A video tutorial dedicated towards both of these methods have been attached in the description box below. You can check it out and add a WhatsApp number inside your Pabbly Chatflow account. As you can see that I have already added my WhatsApp number, so I'm directly going to move on forward and create a WhatsApp chatbot. So to create a WhatsApp chatbot, I'm just going to go towards the left side of the bar, and over here on the left side of the bar, you can see all the features offered by Pabbly Chatflow. And if you want to learn about any of this feature in detail, a video tutorial dedicated towards each of this feature has been attached in the description box below. You can check it out. Today, this video is only going to focus on how to create a WhatsApp chatbot. So we are directly going to move on towards the flow section of a Pabbly Chatflow account to create a WhatsApp chatbot. And after opening this flow builder, over here you can see all the flows which I have already created. You can see the total flows, you can see the active flows, and also you can manage the inactive flows right from here. But now today I'm just going to start this flow from scratch. So I'm just going to go towards this add flow button right over here. And once we're just going to click on this add flow button, it is going to open a window something like this in front of us. And to start with this flow, we first have to name our flow. So I'm just going to name my flow as this right over here. WhatsApp chatbot for solar energy consultant business. And now we're just going to move on forward. Alright, and after entering this name, we're just going to start with the flow. So to start with the flow, we have three options. Either we can use keywords, regex, or we can choose a template to start the flow. So over here, if you want to start this flow with the help of a template, you can go towards this choose template button. And after going over here towards this choose template button, you first have to create a template, and then when Meta approves your template, you're going to get the option to select that template right over here. So you can select the template right from here. And once your user is going to reply to that template, automatically the flow is going to get triggered. The next one which we have is regex. So regex means regular expressions which help your WhatsApp chatbot understand what a user is trying to say by matching specific keywords in their messages. And the third one which we have is keywords right over here. So if you want to start this flow with the help of keywords, you can simply go towards this enter keywords. You can type your keyword and then press enter. It is a really important step to type the keyword and press enter, otherwise your keyword will not be added. But today I'm just going to start this flow with the help of a regex. So I'm simply going to enter my regex pattern right over here. So as you can see that this is my regex pattern which I've entered right over here. And I'm just going to simply switch on this toggle button. So I'm just going to switch on this toggle button because this regex is a case sensitive regex. It is not mandatory to switch on this toggle button. And after doing this, we're going to move on forward. But first, you must be wondering why I have used this regex pattern only. So what happens is that when we use this regex pattern, now whenever my user is going to message me anything, be it a long word, be it a short word, be it a long paragraph, be it a short paragraph, or be it a single line, whenever my user is going to message me anything, the flow is going to get started because I have used this regex pattern. So that is the reason that we use this regex pattern. You can also use this regex pattern, and now we're going to move on further. Now what I want is that whenever my user messages me anything, I first want to ask them for their full name. And to ask them for their full name, I'm simply going to go towards this action notes and drag and drop this ask question right over here. And we're simply going to connect this ask question with this flow start. And now I'm just going to enter the message to ask the question. So as you can see that I've successfully entered the message. But not only this message, you can notice that in this message, I have bold some text, which is this first line and the last line. So how are we going to bold this text? So to bold this text, we are simply going to add stars in the starting and in the end of the text, which we want to bold like this. So I'm just going to bold the text, which is these two lines, and you can also do the same to bold the text. You simply have to add the stars in the starting of the text and in the end of the text you want to bold. Now after doing this, we're just going to move on forward. Now it is asking me to select the contact custom field. So in order to select the contact custom field, you first have to create one, right? So to create a contact custom field, you have to go towards the left side of the bar, towards the settings, and over here you're going to find the option of contact custom fields. And from here you can create multiple contact custom fields. I have already created multiple, so I'm just going to select one from this only, which is full name. Over here, if you want to learn about this contact custom fields in detail, you can check out the video given in the description box below. Now it is asking me to select the format of the reply, so I'm simply going to select the format of the reply, which is text, because the full name is always in text format. Now I'm just going to move on forward. Now it is asking me for the number of attempts, so I'm just going to keep the number of attempts as one only right over here. And now it's asking me for the validation message. So you must be wondering, what is this validation message? So let's say that you selected the format of the reply as text, and if your user is going to reply in some another format like email or number, then your workflow is not going to move on further. All right, so what will happen is that you can send a validation message towards your user that please reply in text format only, or this is an error or something like this, so that your user knows that they only have to reply in text format to continue this WhatsApp chatbot. I'm just going to ignore this validation message because this is not the required field, and I'm just going to keep the number of attempts as one only. If you want to enter the validation message, you definitely have to increase the number of attempts too. Now I'm just going to move on further. Now after adding this, what I'm just going to do is, once my user shares their full name, I am just going to ask them for the type of the property. So for that, I'm just going to simply drag and drop this ask question node and connect it with this full name thing. And now I'm just going to enter the message to ask them for the type of the property. Once again, I'm just going to select the contact custom field as property type and select the format of the reply as text only. Now we're going to move on further. Now after asking them for their property type, what I want is, I'm just going to ask them that how I can assist you today. So to ask them this, I'm just going to simply drag and drop the connection, select the content type as text plus button, and now I'm just going to enter the message, which is thanks, here's how can I assist you today. And I'm just going to add 3 buttons in this message, because over here you can see we have 3 buttons in this message, and one by one I'm just going to add the text in all of these 3 buttons. The first is how Solar works, the next is estimated savings, and the third one is free site check. So one by one I'm just going to add all of the text in these 3 buttons right over here, and as you can see that I've successfully added the text in all of these 3 buttons. And now I'm just going to set up the message for all of these buttons one by one, and we're just going to start with this how Solar works. I'm just going to simply drag and drop the connection, select the content type as text plus button, and now I'm just going to enter the message if my user selects how Solar works. So for that message, I'm just going to send them a message something like this, right? So I'm simply going to enter the same message right over here, and after entering this message, I'm just going to add 2 buttons in this message too. The one is for estimated savings and the another one is for contact us. So I'm just going to add 2 buttons right over here, and then we're just going to move on forward. I'm just going to set up the message for estimated savings. So to set up the message for estimated savings, first I'm just going to ask them for the average monthly electricity bill, and for that I'm just going to simply drag and drop this ask question node and connect it with this estimated savings, and over here I'm just going to enter the message for the same. And after entering this message to ask them for the average monthly electricity bill, I'm just going to select the contact custom field for the same and select the format too, and I'm just going to move on further. Over here you can see that I had 2 buttons which says estimated savings, so I'm just going to simply connect both of these buttons with this estimated savings message right over here, and after entering this message we're going to move on further. Now what I want is that whenever my user shares their average monthly electricity bill, I'm just going to send them a message like this. Alright, so I'm simply going to enter a message like this. For that I'm simply going to drag and drop the connection and select the content type as text plus button and enter the message. Now over here I'm just going to add a button of free site check. As you can see, I'm just going to add a button of free site check, so I'm simply going to add button of free site check right over here, and now we're just going to move on further and set up the message for free site check. Alright, so to set up the message for this free site check, I'm just going to simply enter a message like this, which is going to ask them for the location or the city they live in. For that, I'm simply going to drag and drop this ask question, connect it with this free site check message and enter the message for the same. Once again, I'm just going to select the contact custom field, which is location or area, and select the format of the reply. Now I'm just going to move on forward and I'm just going to connect this free site check message with all the buttons which said free site check. And now I'm just going to move on further. Now after they share the location, I'm just going to send them a message something like this. But before setting up this message, what I want is I want to send all the details which I collected towards my Google Sheets. And to do this, what this is going to do is I'm simply going to drag and drop this API request right over here. I'm simply going to connect this API request with this location message which I sent, and now I'm just going to connect this API request with my Pabbly Connects workflow. And what we're going to do is I'm simply going to add all of these details into my spreadsheet. So to do this, first I'm just going to go towards the account section of my Pabbly, and over here I'm just going to click on this access now for this Pabbly Connect, because I'm just going to use Pabbly Connect in order to send all of these details towards my spreadsheet. And after opening the dashboard of my Pabbly Connect, we are simply going to go towards this create workflow right over here, and I'm just going to select the folder in which I save my workflow, which is automations, and I'm just going to name this workflow first. And after naming this workflow, we are simply going to click on this button which says create. And once we are just going to click on this create, I'm just going to open the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. Over here we have trigger and actions, with the help of which we are just going to create the automation. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. Alright, so now for the trigger, we simply have to select Pabbly Chatflow right over here. So I'm just going to search for Pabbly Chatflow and select it right over here. And now for the trigger event, we simply have to select it as new message received. And after doing this, we have received a webhook URL. So I'm simply going to copy this webhook URL. And now what we're going to do is I'm simply going to open my flows. And over here, we're just going to go towards this webhook URL. And over here for the request, I'm just going to select it as post. And now I'm just going to paste the webhook URL, which we copied from our workflow right over here. And now I'm just going to give the keys and this parameters right over here. So what are the details which I want to send? The details are the full name, the location area, the property type, and the electricity bill. So what I'm just going to do is one by one, I'm just going to add all of these details. So I'm just going to give the key for the full name. I'm just going to select the contact custom field for the same right over here. We're just going to move on further. I'm just going to give the key for the next information, which is location and area. I'm just going to enter it right over here. Once again, I'm just going to select the contact custom field for the same. We're just going to move on forward. I'm just going to add more fields. Once again, I'm just going to give the key right over here, which is for the property type. And now I'm just going to enter the key. Once again, I'm just going to select this contact custom field of property type. We are just going to move on forward. I'm just going to enter the key for electricity bill. Once again, I'm just going to enter the key right over here and select the content custom field as electricity bill. And after entering all of these 4 details right over here, we simply have to click on this button which says test. And once we're just going to click on this test, automatically you can see that Pabbly is going to capture the response of the test submission right over here. So we just have to wait for a few seconds till Pabbly is going to capture the response. And as you can see that Pabbly has captured the response. You can notice over here we have received this dollar and then the dynamic value. So what is going to happen is that right now it is a test response, but now whenever this chatbot is going to run in real time, automatically the details which my user is submitting will be received as the response right over here. Alright, so over here you're going to receive the response whenever your flow is going to run. And further what you can do is you can simply add all of these details into your spreadsheet. And over here you can see that I have only received these test details right over here because we simply clicked on this button which says test, right? But over here in real time we are just going to receive the details of our leads. Alright, and now what you can do is you can further add these details into your spreadsheet, or if you want you can definitely add these details into your CRM, or you can send an email to them. You can do multiple things using this Connects workflow. Alright, so you simply have to select the action for which you want to do. You can simply add it to a CRM. For that you can select a CRM right over here, and if you want to add them into your Google Sheets, you can simply select Sheets right over here. And after doing this, we are simply going to go towards this action event, and we are simply going to click on this add new row. I'm just going to show you that how I'm just going to add these test details into my Google Sheets. And now for that I'm just going to simply click on this button which says connect, and over here it is giving me 2 options. So if you have already connected your Google Sheets account with your Pabbly Connects workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. And now Pabbly is asking me to select my Gmail account, with the help of which I'm just going to connect my Google Sheets. So I'm simply going to select my Gmail account right over here, and now Pabbly is going to ask me for some permissions. So what we have to do is we simply have to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. And once we're just going to click on this allow, it is asking me to select the spreadsheet. So over here you can see the name of the sheet is leads info. So I'm just going to select the same right over here which is leads information, and now I'm just going to select the sheet 2 which is sheet 1 right over here. And now it is asking me for the full name, location, area, property type, and the electricity bill. So one by one, I'm just going to enter all of these details which we received in the response of our previous step, and I'm just going to map it right over here. But we are not going to enter the details manually, but we're going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Pabbly Chatflow as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So one by one, I'm just going to map all of these details. So once again, I'm just going to let you know that these are the test details only, all right? And I'm just going to show you how you can connect your Google Sheets with your WhatsApp chatbot. So as you can see that I've simply entered these details, and now we are simply going to click on the save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on the save and send test request, yes, you can see that we have received the positive response that we have successfully added these details into our Google Sheets. So I'm just going to open my Google Sheets, and as you can see, the details have been added right over here. But these are the test details, right? So I'm just going to delete these details right from here. But now with this, we have successfully created a connection between our WhatsApp chatbot and our Google Sheets account. And now what we're just going to do is I'm simply going to click on this button right over here which says save. And after clicking on this save, with this, we have successfully added our webhook URL right over here in our WhatsApp chatbot. So now what is going to happen is that once we are just going to collect all of these details after this message, all of these details will be sent towards the Pabbly Connects workflow. This workflow is going to get triggered, and further these details are going to be added into your spreadsheet automatically without any manual efforts. All right. So yes, now after doing this, we can move on further. Now what buttons are left? Only a single button is left of contact us. So now what we're just going to do is after my user shares their location or the area, I'm just going to send them a message like this. And to send them a message like this after they share the location or the area, we first have added the webhook URL, right? And after this, I'm just going to add a message. So I'm simply going to drag and drop the connection, select the content type as text plus button, and now I'm just going to add my message. And after adding this message, I'm just going to add a button in this message of contact us. All right, so I'm simply going to add the button of this contact us in this message. And now I'm just going to set up the message for contact us. For that, I'm simply going to drag and drop the connection, select the content type as text plus button, and now I'm just going to enter the message for contact us right over here. And after adding the message for contact us, I'm just going to connect this message with all the buttons which said contact us. And after doing this, with this, we have successfully completed this WhatsApp chatbot. And now what is going to happen is that whenever my user is going to message me anything, first this chatbot is going to ask them for their full name, property type, and then further it is going to respond accordingly to the options they select. And once they share all of these details till the location and area, automatically all of their details will be sent towards my Pabbly Connects workflow. Automatically this flow is going to get triggered, and automatically the details will be added in this spreadsheet right over here for my sales team. And further, we can thank them for sharing all the details and give them the contact information. So yes, with this, we have successfully completed this WhatsApp chatbot, and now I'm just going to save it right from here. So I'm just going to click on this save button right from here, and with this, we have successfully saved this flow. And I'm just going to test this flow in real time. For that, you have to keep in mind that this button should always be switched on. And now to test this flow in real time, I'm just going to open the WhatsApp, and let's see, I'm just going to test this flow in real time once again. So to test this flow first, I'm just going to clear the previous conversation which happened between the chatbot and this user. So let's say I'm just going to clear the previous conversation, and I'm just going to start fresh. Let's say I'm just going to message them, I want to know the price. So I'm just going to enter, I want to know the price right over here. And after entering this message, I'm simply going to send them this message, which is, I want to know the price. And it is saying hello and welcome. And once again, it is asking me for my full name. So let's say I'm simply going to enter my full name right over here this time, which is smart user. So I'm simply going to enter my full name right over here. And once I'm just going to share my full name, it is saying what type of property do you want to install solar panels on. So I'm simply going to enter the type of the property, which is commercial. And after entering this, I'm just going to select what I want right over here, and automatically it is going to respond me. And over here, you can see that this chatbot is running in real time, right? And now it is asking me for the monthly electricity bill. So I'm simply going to enter my bill right over here, which is 15,000 rupees. So I'm just going to enter it right over here. And after entering this electricity bill, over here it is asking me if I want a free site check. So yes, I want it. So I'm just going to simply click on this free site check button, and now it is asking me for my location. So let's say I'm just going to enter my location, which is 123 road right over here. And I'm just going to send them this. And once I'm just going to send them this, automatically all of these details are added right over here in my spreadsheet. You can see within seconds, these details have been added chatbot right over here in my spreadsheet. And further, if I want to contact them, I can go towards this contact us and automatically I'm just going to get their information. So yes, with this, we have successfully completed this WhatsApp chatbot. And this chatbot is not only solving my user queries, but it is also adding the details of my lead in my spreadsheet, right? And further, my sales team can use these important details and contact all my leads. So yes, with this, we have successfully completed this WhatsApp chatbot. And not only sending and receiving of WhatsApp messages, but you can also check the status of the message when the message was sent, delivered, and read in the inbox section of the Pabbly Chatflow account. So now go try this amazing WhatsApp chatbot for your own solar energy consultancy business, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Chatflow and also Pabbly Connect. And while trying, if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. See you in the next video with many more automation tips, everyone. Thank you for watching.
So not only this, but with the help of Pabbly Chatflow, you can create multiple chatbots which are tailored to your specific business needs. So now if you have any questions, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com, and if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this URL. And now go try this amazing WhatsApp chatbot for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Chatflow.